we exhibited two very big art exhibitions, one in Dubai and one in Addis Ababa, the Hyatt Regency.
How did you decide to be a curator?
A big art sale that gave me a big opportunity to work with a lot of artists.
Future of art curation in a rapidly changing digital landscape.
Even digital exhibitions has to be curated.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be able to come to Morocco.
I do my best to promote it here in Morocco and of course all over the world, to bring professionals from all over the world to discover Moroccan music. Africa is the source of many wonderful music. At Visa for Music, most of the people was young,
Yes.
and they wanna work in this sector.
Good afternoon. This is your Pan-African show called Afreeqa with your host Qetselawork. I would like her to introduce herself. Thank you for coming to our studio.
Thank you so much, Kazu, for inviting me. And my name is Edom. Edom Belete, Habta Gabriel. I like it when it goes rajim. And I'm an art curator and event coordinator.
Beautiful. So before we get into the exciting part of our getting together today, I think we should start from who is Edom? Now, you said you were an art curator, but before you became an art curator, there was certain steps that you had to go through. So I would like you to, just in case there are quite a few people that don't know Edom Belete, could you please tell us where you started, school you went to, and then gradually becoming who you became?
Born and raised in Addis Ababa, a proud mother of two. Before I joined this creative world, I joined Addis Ababa University Commercial College. And then after I graduated, I told my parents that I go night school for French lesson at the Alliance, and I paid the Alliance French school fee, and I also paid an Abyssinia art school. And instead of going to the French, I used to go to the Abyssinia. That's how I started my art journey.
How long were you at that school?
It's a year course they used to give, but I was here and there, like I told you earlier. One day I ran to the Alliance, and the other day I didn't get to finish both, but I managed to get the necessary education that I needed to pursue my art career.
Beautiful. So how do you select so I'm just going to dive into the questions now.
Please do.
You know, even though I would like to continue, like how did you decide to be a curator as opposed to...
That's a very good question,
I
by
know,
the
so
way.
I think I should ask that. Okay, so...
So after I had my second baby, my daughter, this artist, a close friend of mine, came and he said, "Oh, I would like to have my art exhibition, but I don't know how." And I said, "Okay, hold on, no problem. I'll organize it, and don't worry." So I pulled my strengths together, and Corkwine, that's the place where I began my art curating career. And I selected the art pieces that he did, and I was breastfeeding, and between hanging the artworks and curating, my daughter used to cry, and I used to breastfeed, and that's how I started my art curating career. To answer the question that you asked earlier, how do I select? In the beginning, they used to select me. The one who was going through artist studio and select them, they used to come to me, a close friend of mine who are artists, and I used to hang out with them as well. And Abyssinia also helped because the students that I was with at that time, I wanted something to organize for them, and then that's how I began.
Beautiful. Even though you said in the beginning that artists used to come to you, But now you're obviously the one that is going out and scouting for pieces that you want. Now, the question could be directed to both, whether they come to you or you go find them. Do you have a criteria, was the question.
It all depends on the theme that we work on or we worked on. And thanks to the events that or the big art sale, I work with Yasser Bagrish. That gave me a big opportunity to work with a lot of artists. So we have a roster, and so it depends. What is the theme? Are the artists capable? Are we capable of handling the artworks as well? It goes both ways, and it's an interesting way of working with the artist. Sometimes you might love the artwork, but it's very difficult to work with the artist. And also, would they bring out what you really want to tell the audiences? That's also another issue that we see and we check.
So technically, there is no criteria. You have a theme, and you just go through with the theme.
Yes.
By the theme.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us about a recent exhibition that you curated and what inspired its theme?
Well, very interesting. Recently, we exhibited two very big art exhibition, one in Dubai and one in Addis Ababa, the Hyatt Regency. The Dubai exhibition was a bit challenging because the theme that we were working on was something that we're going to be liable of, and it's a big responsibility because we're going to show what Ethiopian art is all about, and should we select traditional, and then also the culture of the country, where sometimes you really like some pieces but you can't exhibit it because it doesn't go with the norm and the culture of the country. That was a bit challenging, but it was very successful. And we on the exhibition, 8 artists participated, upcoming and well-known artists, and it was nice. And the Addis Arsa Live was Saifu. Saifu was transitioning from his previous artworks, and now he's showing his new skill, all the skills that have been with him for the past 27 years have been shown very well. And that's also a challenging because he brought too many pieces and he refused to take them back home. But it was interesting. Both were very nice.
How do you interpret and convey the artist's intended message to the audience?
It depends. When it's a traditional art, there's nothing to say about it. It's there and people perceive it very easily. But when it is modern and contemporary art, it is in personal view. For you, it might be something. For the others, it might be something else. So usually I don't interfere between the audience's view and the artist's view. I let it go and I listen and I entertain it that way.
What role does historical context play in curating exhibitions?
I would like to say something about, historical. Let me tell you what one happening, the big art sale. People don't see or understand visual art as, or they think that it just popped or come now, or the value and how it's been evolving. They don't understand. I always say to my local audiences that we love and appreciated art in the caveman time. If the caveman hasn't put or painted on the caves, we wouldn't have understood what how they evolved or came to this point. So yes, historical point of view is very important in art curating and in art. But like I said, it all depends on the moment and all depends on the theme and it all depends on the artist that painting the artworks.
As you said it, art is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yes.
The artist paints, he paints what he feels, but he cannot judge or he cannot tell us how to perceive it or how to see it, right? So it's everybody sees things very differently. But when it comes to historical, especially if you're from that particular part that he is trying to tell the story, then maybe I would understand, but somebody else won't.
For example, with music, sometimes don't you enjoy a music that you don't understand the lyrics, you just listen to it and love it and probably listen to it a million times. So art is like that. In all forms, I think art should be perceived like that. And historical, if it is an historical artwork, it has to have something, a plaque that is written next to it that for you to understand what it means. But if it's not described or if there is no curator not under it, you can't interpret it the way you want to.
How do you balance showcasing established artists with discovering emerging talents? Because I think you just said that actually in Dubai, you had that kind of a mix.
Yes, they go together. Sometimes artists, especially if they go to Ala Fine Art School, the emerging artists follow their senior artists. And it's very easy to find commonality between the two. Of course, you will see the difference between the two artwork with their excellence in the brush stroke, the negative space, the harm, everything, the elements you will see and you will identify. But it's not as very difficult as anyone can imagine. But sometimes there is an issue when the senior doesn't want to be next to the upcoming, but no matter, it works, you'll balance.
Can you share your thoughts on the importance of diversity and inclusivity in art curation?
Art in general is unifying. I always preach or say to people around me that art and culture is the one that bring us in unity. So I don't see diversity. Yes, of course, sometimes when you work with international organizations, international programs, and they always mention this on the form or in the thing that you're working on. Is it diverse? The number of women, men, also the disabled, that kind of character they put into, and they push us to
make sure they're included.
They're included. But for me, the judgment is the artwork. I don't see how that person is made or where is he coming from. As long as the art pieces are enjoyable to the point where they're going to work with my team, I'm blind to this kind of questionnaires, if I may say.
Okay. What's the strategy you use to encourage visitor participation and interaction with artworks?
I like this part because, Ethiopians, including myself, we don't buy, we don't think buying art, putting art in our homes is a very expensive and very far-fetched indulgence, but it's not. If we go back and see our grandparents or our neighbors' home, there was always something hung on their wall. I'm sure if you remember, even the posters, the 13 months of sunshine
exactly.
posters. So it's in our blood. It's accustomed to us. But we think that it's a very expensive venture, and we're scared of it. But coming to the upcoming artists and student artists, and coming to their shows and encouraging them, and they're not expensive. And we can buy from them, and also the artists are very generous. When they see how much you love and appreciate their work, they give us for free as well. So I think it's very easy. First, come to the events, come to the exhibition, see our exhibition, talk to us, express your feeling about the paintings that we hung on the walls, and tell us what you think about them. And then the next step is very easy. We'll make it accessible, and it is accessible.
How do you envision the future of art curation in a rapidly changing digital landscape?
Well, even digital exhibitions has to be curated.
Right.
Yes.
I don't think AI is going to take that one.
As a venture, I have tried as well. I said, okay, as a professional as well, am I going to be replaced? Is that question. So we actually, my colleague and I, one day we put we fade the walls and then the art pieces that we want to, and ask the program to curate it, and it will never be like I will do it.
Human touch, yeah.
Yeah, so that will never scare me, and
Good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I would like to say something about my art career.
Please do.
Not as an art curator, but as a person that involves in the art, the visual art community. I would like to represent all the community members and would like to thank Yasser Bagarsh. He's a person that believed in the visual art, believed in the community, and has been giving continuously for 19 years next year in April. He's been organizing the Big Art Sale. I've joined him in this event 4 years ago, but before that, he's been doing it. He started with 10 artists. Now it involves 230 artists. Wow. He started with one 8-meter by 20-meter tent, and now it's 60-meter square tent. And he'd been supporting the Ethiopian Visual Arts Association, the community, and myself, as well as he provided the platform for me to go above and beyond and go with, sorry to use this, but crazy artistic world. And he gave me this opportunity. So I would like to thank him, and God bless him.
God bless you.
Yeah.
at this point, we have to first of all say thank you to the one organization that believed in what I was trying to do and sponsored it and actually sent me to Morocco with you, to thank Dashen Bank for allowing me to go and be able to record, interview, experience such an amazing festival. And the other person I would like to thank is also yourself. So I would like to say thank you. And also in facilitating with Ibrahim, with Visa for Music, for us to be able to attend this festival.
Say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be able to come to Morocco to actually get this interview. So I say thank you.
Thank you to you for inviting me to this talk.
Thank you. Could you please introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Brahim El-Mazned. I'm from Morocco, born in Agadir. I live now in Rabat. I'm UNESCO consultant. Also organize some cultural events in Morocco, Timita Festival in the summer, and this conference, Visa for Music conference and showcase music festival here in Rabat. And also I edit some anthologies and linked to Moroccan music and many things.
Okay. So can you please tell me a little bit about your organization, Anya? Is that how you spell it? You pronounce it Anya?
Yeah, that's it.
And its mission in promoting Moroccan and African cultural activities.
Anya is an organization based here in Rabat. It produced Visa for Music since 10 years. And though, of course, it organizes also many activities linked to development of capacities, links to events and music and culture, but mainly in music sector.
Okay. What motivated you to focus on world music and specifically highlight Moroccan and African culture in your festivals and events?
Well, I travel around the world, especially in Africa, where I've been in more than 30 countries around Africa, and I feel in love with this diversity. That's why I try to promote it, and I try to bring this wonderful music from all over the world to Morocco. And I do the same for Moroccan music. I do my best to promote it here in Morocco and of course all over the world. We bring professionals from all over the world to discover Moroccan music and to share this wonderful music with the world.
As the artistic director of Timitar Festival of World Music, what were some of the highlights and challenges you faced in organizing such a renowned event?
It's an amazing event. We started 20 years ago in Agadir to promote Amazigh music, amazing Moroccan music, mainly in this place, Sousse in Agadir, but we have this music around Morocco, but it's so huge, and this music is very close to Ethiopian music, because it's also in this pentatonic mode, which is amazing in this region, in this area. You find that only in this region. So the idea is to organize an international music with a focus on this wonderful traditions.
Okay.
So we bring artists from all over the world. I host also just before COVID. I host an Ethiopian amazing artists, or twice.
For that festival?
For that festival.
Wow.
So we bring this diversity from the world, but we do also a focus on this wonderful Amazigh music.
Could you share some insights into founding and objectives of Visa for Music, the first festival and professional market for music in Africa and the Middle East?
Well, you know, Africa is the source of many, many wonderful music. You come from Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one of the rich music country in the world. So the idea in this continent, the source of many music and tradition, we built this project to promote African artists. And as the geography help us, we are in Africa, but close to many regions, close to Europe, and we have direct connection with many countries around the world. The idea is to bring the world here to discover musicians from the whole Africa, English speaking, French speaking, Portuguese,
Exactly.
other languages, and African singing in African languages with their diversity, and we bring directors of festivals from all over the world to discover them. So we organize meeting so artists can meet directors of festival. We have like 1,000 and more delegates from all over the world. So they come here to do business, to exchange ideas, to talk in conferences, to see showcases and concerts. So it's a real moment dedicated to this African music dynamic we have in this last years.
How do you approach the national and international promotion of creative industries, and what impact do you hope to achieve through your work?
You know, creative industry bring attention of youth, especially women. So this industry became now one of the most dynamic industry in the world because of the development of many sectors, music industry, gaming, performing arts, visual art, etc. So we need to structure this sector. As you can see at Visa for Music, most of the people was young, and they wanna work in this sector. So the idea is to give the keys to this young generation, because they can do more than us to develop the sector, not only in terms of management, but also in terms of creativity, and probably to promote it in digital, and of course in performance, also performance.
With your extensive experience as a jury member for cultural events around the world, what criteria do you prioritize in evaluating artistic performances or cultural projects?
In one word, the quality.
As a consultant for UNESCO in the fields of cultural policy and creative industries, what are some key recommendations or insights you have provided to support cultural and creative activities?
Well, if I have one idea to share with you, is that we invest a lot in contractor all over the world. But sometimes we forget to invest in production. Because finally, you and I will look for the quality of performances. It's nice to have an amazing stage, but if the quality on the stage is not there, it's not. So it's probably our sponsors they are more looking to buy project already done. I think today we'll look for partners to invest in production and in creativity.
How easy it is to find sponsors for such a thing? Is it a difficult thing, or it takes work?
It's so difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so difficult,
Yeah.
especially in in Africa. But I think after the COVID, we look differently on the cultural sector.
The event that we had here. Now I want you to tell me how successful, I don't know how you gauge success when it comes to events or festivals, but as far as I'm concerned, it was successful because in my eye. But if you could tell us how good, or what was some of the things that were a little difficult for you on this visa for music?
Well, organizing an event is always a challenge. Because when you receive 70 bands, you have 6 stages, you have more than 1,000 delegates from all over the world, and every person is here for something.
Exactly.
And he needs to be in a good condition to do his business. We have people coming from all over the world, and some comes from so far, even you. Because so it's a big trip. So we work on it every day for 1 year to make it happen.
Wow.
So we have my team and whole partners and volunteers do the best to organize this event. Of course, every year we learn
something new.
something new, and every year we put our challenge and we do the best to organize it better.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, me from Ethiopia, thank you a lot for giving me this opportunity to come to your country, to have a lovely time, to be able to interview some amazing, amazing people that you brought here, and including you. Thank you very much.
We already received some artists from Ethiopia and some delegates. So you are more than welcome, and I hope next year we will have one of the amazing Ethiopian artists in one of our stages here.
Absolutely, we will promise that.